Gender-based violence, types of abuse, verbal abuse. What is verbal abuse? It's the repeated belittling of the victim, name-calling of the victim. It happens mostly in private, and it is the key in emotionally abusive relationships. The difference between normal arguments and verbal abuse in any relationship is that normal arguments happens in all relationships and is not regular, but verbal abuse is regular and abuse might be subtle at the beginning. A common method of verbal abuse is name-calling and judging. The abuser finds their power in putting the victim down, in shaming them and making them feel bad about themselves. Condescension and sarcasm is used by the abuser to patronize the victim. Both these methods are used to undermine the victim's sense of self, and it makes the victim feel useless. Manipulation and blaming is used by the abuser to make the victim feel guilty. The abuser will manipulate the victim in doing things that he or she will not normally do. Manipulation and blaming is used to make the victim believe everything is his or her fault. The abuser uses these methods to make the victim take responsibility for all conflict situations, even if it's not their fault. Demeaning comments and false accusations is another way for the abuser to put the victim down. The abuser will often resort to putting the victim down in public, making demeaning comments or jokes at the victim's expense. Abusers are often jealous of the victim and will use false accusations, such as infidelity, to make the victim believe they are doing something inappropriate, even when they're not. Threats, such as the abuser threatening to hurt him or herself or hurt the victim, will often be used by the abuser to keep the victim in a state of fear. Trivializing the victim's accomplishments, ideas, or anything he or she does is used to make the victim believe his or her life means nothing. The abuser will often use these two methods together to break down the victim's self-esteem. The silent treatment or withholding is another way of punishing the victim by the abuser. This gives him or her the power over the victim. And some of the tactics that is often used is not answering the calls or ignoring. The consequences of verbal abuse is long-lasting on the victim. The victim believes everything is their fault. They can develop a low self-esteem, and it impacts all aspects of their lives. Verbal abuse may make the victim feel powerless, ashamed, used, controlled, and unwanted. It will have a long-lasting effect on the victim's mental health and may lead to depression and PTSD. There are many organizations out there that can help victims of gender-based violence. Don't turn a blind eye. Help someone today.